Imagine this. You've sold everything you had, borrowed money from relatives, maybe even taken a loan you can't repay, all for one shot at a better life. You've dreamed of walking through the streets of London, working in your dream job, sending money back home to uplift your family. And finally, after months, sometimes years of preparation, you hit submit on your UK visa application. But just days later, your heart sinks. One cold, robotic email. Visa denied. No explanation, no appeal, just rejection. In a matter of seconds, everything you've built your life around is gone. Your future erased, your family's expectations crushed. But this isn't just your story. This is happening to thousands of people around the world every single day, all victims of the UK's controversial 2025 immigration reforms. These reforms, introduced quietly at first, were said to be about control, about protecting jobs, about national security. But what they really did was close the door on some of the world's most talented, hardworking, and hopeful people. The very individuals who once saw the UK as a beacon of opportunity. Take the story of Amir, a 28-year-old software engineer from Lahore. After receiving a job offer from a reputable tech firm in London, he did everything right. He got his documents in order, paid for a sponsorship certificate, completed his biometric screenings, and booked his flight. But just days before departure, his visa was revoked under a new clause called the Priority Labor Provision. Authorities claimed the role could be filled domestically, despite the employer's appeal. Amir's father had sold their only home to fund his relocation. Today, the family lives in a rented room, surviving on borrowed money. Amir now battles depression, self-blame, and a terrifying uncertainty. His story is heartbreaking, but it is far from unique. Maria, a nurse from Manila, was one of hundreds accepted under the NHS's Overseas Recruitment Initiative. She left her job, said goodbye to her patients, packed her children's belongings, and waited. But due to a sudden cap reduction in the healthcare worker quota, her visa was refused without notice. No compensation, no resettlement help, no apology. Maria, once a proud nurse ready to serve in understaffed UK hospitals, is now unemployed, her children unable to attend school, her family shattered. What makes these stories so painful is not just the denial, but the timing and cruelty of how it happens. Often mid-process, after people have quit their jobs, sold homes, or withdrawn children from school. The emotional and financial toll is devastating. Then there's Emmanuel and Grace, a young married couple from Nigeria, both qualified doctors. After receiving job offers in a rural UK town desperate for medical staff, they submitted their applications. A month passed, then another. When they followed up, they were told that new regional allocations had been frozen and their roles were no longer eligible for sponsorship. This was after resigning from their positions and subletting their home. Now, with two toddlers and no income, they live in a shared flat in Lagos, hoping something will change. They aren't angry, they're just heartbroken. Multiply these stories by thousands, and you begin to see the bigger picture. These reforms aren't policy updates, they're life-altering blows delivered in silence. Behind every visa-denied stamp is not just paperwork, it's a father's dream to educate his children, a mother's hope to build a safer life, a student's chance to escape poverty. And yet, their stories are drowned out by government statements filled with numbers and nationalist rhetoric. Net migration targets, points-based evaluations, skills shortage lists, all terms designed to dehumanize real people. Real people like Priya from Mumbai, a data analyst who spent 2 years building a portfolio strong enough to apply for a UK startup visa. After investing nearly £12,000 into her business, she was told her plan lacked innovation, despite having a UK investor ready to back her. Her visa was denied, her savings vanished, her self-esteem crumbled. Even international students, once considered safe under the education route, now face uncertainty. In early 2025, a sudden change in post-study work rules slashed their options. Students who arrived under one set of rules found those promises revoked before they graduated. Some were forced to leave within weeks after finishing their courses. Their dreams of settling, working, or even repaying their student loans abruptly crushed. What makes it worse is the emotional silence. No one talks about the mental health crisis growing among rejected applicants. Depression, anxiety, isolation, guilt. These people often can't talk to their families about their failure. Some have attempted suicide. Others have vanished into illegal status, too ashamed to return home, too afraid to stay. And what about those who do make it to the UK? Life isn't always better. Many face stricter monitoring, reduced rights, and constant fear of deportation. The threat of being asked to leave at any time hangs over their heads like a cloud. Housing laws have tightened. Family reunification rules have become stricter. Even children born in the UK to immigrant parents now face new documentation hurdles. It's as if the country that once welcomed them with open arms now watches them with suspicion. Why? Because the system is no longer about integration. It's about exclusion. And yet these people persist. They apply again. They appeal. They hope. Not because the system is fair, but because their home countries offer even fewer opportunities. They endure humiliation, heartbreak, and rejection just for the chance to build a better future. But we must ask, at what cost? How many dreams must be crushed before the world takes notice? How many talented professionals must be turned away before we admit that these policies are hurting not just immigrants, but the UK itself? A country that is now losing doctors, nurses, tech workers, caregivers, and future leaders to other nations who are more welcoming? Canada, Australia, and Germany are now reaping the rewards of the UK's hardline stance. They're gaining talent that the UK is pushing away. And while British hospitals, tech firms, and research institutions struggle with shortages, thousands of qualified, passionate individuals are stuck outside, knocking on a locked door. Immigration is not just about laws, it's about lives. And behind every file on a government desk is a person with dreams, with family, with purpose. It's time we saw them as more than numbers. It's time we told their stories. And that's why we made this video, to shine a light on what's really happening. Not to criticize blindly, but to humanize honestly. If you've been affected by these reforms, if you've been denied, delayed, or simply broken by the system, we see you, we hear you, and your story matters. You are not invisible. And to every viewer watching this, if this story touched your heart, even just a little, please do one thing. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel, not for us, but for them. The thousands who are still waiting for justice, for fairness, for hope. Every click, every share, every comment helps amplify their voice. Together, let's make sure their stories are never forgotten.